Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day or had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, guys. So we had a bullish look on these charts up until like the last, I don't know, I want to say hour here. Yeah, 2 hours here, right into the close. But you had an absolute ripper of a move into, just about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time there. And then you sold off and gave back a good amount of that move here. And on QQQ, I honestly don't think things look too bad here on the smaller time frames. Here on the daily time frame, things were setting up really nicely. And now, as you can see, we kind of just have we have some indecision candlesticks with relatively low volume, I might say. All right, QQQ does not have the highest volume. Now, keep this in mind, we are comparing this to OPEX Friday, the monthly OPEX, whereas now we do not, no monthly OPEX. So we definitely were expecting increased volatility. All right, much more was going on those days. So, maybe this was just a digestion day. Maybe we're going to sell off a little bit more. Maybe we're not going to do so. I'm just putting it out there. Market was definitely just digesting what was happening. We had a large move down last week, guys. What is this on QQQ? We had 7 weeks of consolidation followed by one big breakdown. All right. The rule of thumb here for range breaks is going to be, you're expecting the length of this range. Well, that was 3.4%. We got 4.8%. So it was a pretty big, and that was all in one go, guys. That was within a few days. Boom. All right, you broke down on that day, and 3 days later, you were all the way down there. There was that, or 4 days later. There you go. All right, but I am just going to point to some things in this video. I'm going to keep this short, guys, because it is getting late. It's 10:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I would like to get to bed so we can, get ready tomorrow, get early, so we can get ready for the day tomorrow before market open, because, once 9:30 hits, guys, market's going to be open. There you go. So, if you got stuff to do in the morning, get that stuff done. Or maybe you go to work in the morning, get the stuff done, like go to the gym, go for your walk before, you got to do a bunch of stuff throughout the day. There you go, guys. But NQ, guys, you have this downtrend with a lot of touch points here. All right, we got a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. We're going to count this little guy, and then you broke out. All right, and if you were to take the golden pocket, a retracement from right here down to the low right here. All right, this is going to be your golden pocket. You're getting sellers stepping in here, but I will say, considering you just broke out, I think it's very likely that you, you rejected here. But if you come a little lower, you're just going to back this trend line, and then you're probably going to continue higher. So, guys, I'm going to be watching this thing long. I do think the downside for now is probably done. All right, that's just my opinion. It doesn't have to be. But let's just point something out. If we're going to come over here to the weekly time frame, all right, you can see if you were to fall a little lower, let's say now from where we are sitting right now, we have 3%. Well, no, not even 3%, 2%, 2.3% lower, guys. You're just going to be at the previous all-time high. I'm willing to bet you that there's going to be a lot of buyers stepping in right down here. So if price does get down here, daily RSI. All right. And I imagine you're probably going to get a bit more of a pump, but, you do have this key level right here. You can come over here to NQ, and what was I watching? I think it was on ESO seeing it. Yeah, you're coming right into here. Oh, you're seeing it right here. Yeah, you were coming literally right into there. All right. So that's where I was looking for shorts right there. All right. This zone, we were looking for sellers to be stepping in here. And, yeah, I'm just putting it out there, guys. All right. If sellers are going to step in, we could go a little higher right here on SPY. We could do something like this, and then you come down, you're looking to buy. All right. You're looking to buy because you're probably going to get this. If you do that, if you go a little higher there, then you close a little higher there, and then boom, you flush. Maybe you give it all back. That would be some crazy stuff. And you come all the way down here to 490, spook everybody. Okay. You're looking to buy that because there's going to be a bullish divergence on either QQQ or SPY if that happens. And do you see this zone right here? And you see this level, 408.71? Well, that's the previous all-time high. So if you do end up doing something like this, all right, you're looking to buy this for the move up to here. This is like a really, honestly, this right here, if you want to, you know, wait for a really nice trade, it would be right there. You guys see that? 6-1. That would be really nice. But I'm just going to say right now, you're either going to get this or you just get this. And I think you probably are going to get this. Just like that. And if it does come a little lower there, what if you do come all the way down there, then that's going to be right there. And that would be picture perfect if price was to, you know, come down there. And then I would expect sellers to be right there. And then maybe next leg. I don't know. I got absolutely no idea what happens from that point. Something like this. You know, I don't know. I don't know. But come over here, NQ, hourly time frame. This has been a downtrend that looks like it's been a week. Yeah. All right. So it's been a week. You did break down from your zone up here. Okay. You were dancing around down here. And actually, let's go a little something like that. Look where you are, guys. All right. So you kind of are at an important spot here. We're going to actually on that. And, you know, the picture kind of becomes decently clear here. Actually put that right there. And guys, look at that. You're just bouncing up and down. All right. You got demand, you got supply. Get above where, you know, get above the top of the zone here, which happens to align perfectly with the 0.786 fib. Look at that. All right. So you get above, just, you know, we don't even need this zone here. We're going to have it. But, you know, look at the confluence there. 0.786 fib. Get above it. You're probably going to be pushing up here to the high of this candlestick, which is going to be up at 17,553.25. There you go. That's what you're looking for. And above there, guys, that is when you are probably just going to start heading up there. And we can actually do a little thing right there. All right. And there you go. All right. And the next spot above there that you're really paying attention to is just that. Well, at that point, I guess you're just going to be watching the zone right here. And that's where you broke down from. So, all right. I'm honestly bullish on this, guys. Now, we look back, and you don't really have too many times where you come all the way down here to oversold territory. You don't just really start immediately popping up. Like, notice how you don't come down here and then come back down here, all right? So, like, there is a chance we already just saw our bottom, and we're going to, like, our short-term bottom, and we're going to see this move right here. We're going to see it all the way up to 433.71, all right? And that could happen. It could. That's the potential of this move. I'm at least looking for like a 50% retracement, which would be if you were to come over here. All right. And you would just pop on right there. All right. So 429 over here on QQQ. That's really what you're looking for. But as you can see, guys, like the last time you did that was the October low, like over here. And at this point, I'm just saying, all right, SPY and QQ both have bottomed over here, like a major bottom. And like if that's going to be the case, then we're going to really just dance around here for like, you know, a week or two more. And then we're going to have a major bottom. And then boom, you're going to absolutely explode for like a very long time. Like you could do some crazy things, you know, like not a very long time. You see this, but like this was, you know, this was pretty aggressive sell, but you're coming right into the previous all-time high. I don't think, you know, much is to be bearish here. I really don't. Let's look at it on SPY, guys. All right, max, you know, that I'm looking for on this move down. It's going to be 480 and 460, guys. I'm talking this total correction over the next few months. This is what we're looking for. All right, but in terms of right now, lowest I think we're going to go is we're going to tap this golden pocket, and then you're going to have a major bounce. Where are you going to have the major bounce to? You're probably going to come up here. Let's say you already bottomed. All right. And let's just clean up this chart because I don't like the look of it. I guess we got to keep that. All right. But that's really what you're looking for. You're looking for a move all the way back up here to the golden pocket. But in reality, guys, you know, 508.36. That's what I'm looking for. Why? Well, first of all, you got the 50% retracement, but I don't really care about that one. You got the break and retest at that level. All right. You broke down here. You have 504.91 to be paying attention to. You have 508.36 to be paying attention to. That's going to be the low of this candlestick right here, 504.91. And then I think it's the low of this guy right here, which is 508.50. All right. Yeah, let's make that 508.50. All right. There we go. All right, now let's look at some individual tickers. And actually, before we move on, guys, from the indices, VIX, talk about a VIX crush. You see that arrow, guys? Well, VIX was up here. Where are we crushing? Boom. All right, just looking like that. I tried telling you, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. You can do whatever you want, but you mess with VIX getting crushed up here. You want to think it's not going to get crushed up here. You're going to have a bad time. Tried telling you. All right, it could have kept spiking, but I think I shared my thought after this day right here, all right, which was in the weekly update, that hey guys, all right, we've seen a theme where we see an overnight move and then boom, overnight move gets given back. So if VIX comes up here, it's going to get crushed. And I thought that's probably was the only bad thing that was going to happen, is you were just going to keep seeing that. All right, but then it's going to keep just crushing. No reason to be getting bearish on the indices if VIX is sitting up here on the daily RSI 65, guys. It just doesn't happen. If you're new to the channel, it doesn't stay up there. All right, it just doesn't. All right, as far as individual tickers go, guys, I am personally watching Mara. I like this setup. I very much so like this setup, and I think it's going to do some crazy things. You had me in the first half of the day. All right, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But it started shaping up, and once I put this on my chart, I wasn't too I wasn't too worried about that. And then boom, you started seeing the whole damn market recovered, and I was like, oh, holy hot damn. Mara, CLSK, all right, Riot especially. Who would have thought? I actually considered getting this one instead. And in my head, I'm like, Riot always seems to just not move as much as Mara. Then again, this is a pretty big move back in February. Look at this guy. I guess, yeah, it was about the same, actually. I could have played either. All right, but Riot, look at this guy go. All right, weekly time frame, the weekly gap up right there. In my head, I thought I was waiting for this thing to fill. It didn't fill. All right, I saw that in the beginning of the day. I was like, if Riot comes down, Mars probably going to come down. Nope, that's not how that works. I guess Riot wanted to take off, really get a squeezy. But you have Mara over here, and I think this thing looks immaculate. Don't mind this. Take that off. There you go. All right, daily time frame. You already did break out of there. You got 1 touch point. You got 2. You got 3. You got 4. So that was the trend line I was watching there. But then you come over here, and you actually just had your daily breakout today off of that increasing volume. Now, this is something I really like. These green candlesticks, they're matched with the increasing volume. That is a recipe for probably something like this around the corner, if I had to take a guess at it. But then you come over here to CLSK, and this is also something that has that same pattern. So that's going on there, and this was the other candidate of the day, the other one that went on the focus list. All right, so you got that going on. We're gonna come over here to Mr. Nvidia. All right, you had these inside days, guys, across the board. You had a bunch of them. All right, but Nvidia was all the way down here, as you could see. All right, you put on that. This thing, all right, doesn't really go lower than it went right there. It doesn't. And so that's typically where it bounces back. And if you were to go back to all of these occasions, all right, this is literally, these are marking the bottoms. All right, these are really just marking the bottoms when it gets down here. This is that. All right, this is that. And in this case, yeah, you creeped lower. All right, you did. You had these bounces along the way, though. You cannot deny that. That's a 10% bounce. Imagine getting a 10% bounce right here. All right, this is a 5% bounce. Well, 10% bounces, we're coming up to 840. That would be that. All right, come over here to SMCI. The next one that is kind of shaping up, in my opinion, right off of support here. All right, you swept this liquidity underneath. You came down. Boom, boom, boom. 69250. All right, that is the level you're paying attention to. 69250. There you go. All right, but in all seriousness, guys, you are now looking for a recovery out of SMCI, and honestly, you could be paying attention to level right here. Boom, boom, boom. 812. The next level I would be paying attention to if it can recover 812 is going to be right here. But you actually can bring that up. Right there would be the low of this candlestick, which would be 871.10. All right, so let's mark that out. 871.10. Take off that 50% retracement. This is why I just keep the golden pocket, because that thing is ugly. There you go. Mess it on my chart there. All right, guys, but this is definitely something to if you are interested in doing that. If you see that $100 move, I guarantee your premiums. If you're playing weeklies, there you go. There's your 510x. All right, you're playing next week out. Actually, you got earnings. Yeah, no, you can't play next week out. Those premiums are definitely going to be really juiced. So yeah, you'd be playing weeklies on that guy. There you go. Have fun. Have fun there. There you go. Goog. Staying strong over here. But I don't want to talk about you right now. We're talking about Meta. All right, right here at the bottom of the range. I do think this thing is going to be recovering from here. And you do have that bullish divergence going on right there. It is really not looking all too bad. All right, you got GS over here. GS is something that is very likely about to take out this high, and then it's going to push up here to high right there, which would be, was it? That's not 418, right? 426.16. All right, so that's what you're watching. 426.16 right here. We're going to make that a red line. There you go. All right, next one we are paying attention to is Microsoft. All right, do not mind this trend line. That is wrong. Well, I do not know where I had that. Maybe it was right there. I don't know. All right, regardless, guys, we're going to take away this trend line right now then. You came down here. You tapped the bottom of the range here. Your daily RSI, guys, it doesn't really go under there. The only time it did was when you had your major bottom back in October 2020. All right, down over here. But even over here, when you had your January low, and then over the next month, you ran 25%. Guess what? This is where the daily RSI was. Bottom right there. See how I have my alert down there? Well, that's because if it went down there intraday, it's probably bottoming out. You want to buy that. It's probably going to snap back the same day, because it typically doesn't do that. All right. Got this going on right here. Boom. Do you guys see what I'm saying? There you go. All right. Next one. Amazon, guys. Amazon, I also think, is one of these guys that I don't know if it's even going to get down here, but if it does get down here to 171, probably really going to get bought up. So definitely want to keep on the radar. You see where that arrow is right there. Does not look bad at all. Did I change my chart or something like that? What did I do? Nope, it's not log skill. I don't know. I got no idea, guys. But this is a parallel channel, and for some reason, this is messed up now. How did I have this? Right there? No. Alright, guys. I don't know what setting I had my thing on, but I could have sworn. Oh, I know what the normal one's on. But on the daily time. No, this looks ugly as well. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, with that being said, guys, I'm going to conclude the video there. Alright. Still have Disney Dancer on right here. This is actually something you could watch on the weekly time frame right there. Alright, you come over here, DKNG. It's also something you could be paying attention to. Oh, there is the list. All right, coming into your break and retest level right there. CELH. This is one that's looking real clean right now. I think it's probably about to start turning it up. Again, this thing does not like to stay down here. Someone recently left a comment saying that Remember, things can stay oversold for longer than you think. Guess what? My answer to that I did not say in the comments, I will leave it for me to show you in the video, is things like to stay overbought. They don't like to stay oversold. They really don't. This is where they typically don't stay. All right. They like to come down here. They spring back up. Notice how you can dance around up here. You don't really. All right. The only time you can point to over the past right here. Do you see that? 3,710 days. You see, do you see what I see? Guess what? You had like one occurrence where that happened one time in the 60-day period. Out of that 3,700 day period, you had it dancing down there for 3 weeks. All right. And then I'm guessing you put in a major low. It was right over here. Yeah. All right. So you dance down there, right there. And then boom, you had a 40% run. And that was way back when. Guess what? All right. I don't think that's going to be the case. I do think, typically, guys, if you have a strong stock, yeah, it doesn't like to stay oversold. These are definitely going to be the buying opportunities, like I pointed out over here on Microsoft. This thing is beautiful. All right. You don't get this opportunity. I was showing someone, I had a customer today, and I was like, she was telling me she does CDs, and I was like, hey, if you got a lump sum of money, just take this basket of 5 stocks, right? Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and you could do this with the S&P 500, with the Nasdaq. Just literally buy just shares of these companies. When you see, just have your alert on the daily RSI. I showed her how to do it, and yeah, just every time this alert gets hit, just buy in. And you don't have to be looking for home runs, but if you're used to just like, if you got like $100,000 in CDs, or just something just sitting around, and you would want it to go to work, and you don't, like, she was like, but what if it goes zero? And I'm like, that's why you just do these strong companies. All right, you don't play with options, you don't play with none of that. If you're not looking for anything crazy, yeah, continuously pump out these gains right here. Do you see that? The 5% move. But what happens if you catch something like that? Like, just add in during these times down here, and you could take your profits and stuff like that. But in reality, these are strong companies, and these things are probably just going to keep going up. If you're in a bull market, that's a 20% move. What if that's $20,000 right there? And over time, like, you just keep doing this chunk of change. All right. You just keep playing these cycles, and you're just kind of patiently waiting. You're just like, oh, I got a 20% here. Oh, there's that. All right. You wait around for it to come around again. All right. Guess what? Well, maybe you wrote it like there. You got 10% on $100,000, $110,000. All right. Well, now you do it again, because guess what? Your alert just got hit. Now you're buying in. Maybe it's right here. Who cares? All right. It goes down a little bit. Boom. All right. You just wait out. Let's say you got a 14% gain. All right. Now you're $110,000 at like $124,000. We're going to say 125. All right. And then you just waiting again. And maybe it doesn't come around a lot. But if that was all the way back in January, well, did we get it on Amazon? January. Yeah, you got your dip over here. All right. Did we get one on Apple? Got Meta. No, you actually didn't. All right. These things ripped faces, guys. They ripped faces. I mean, you got one right here. Over here. This is NVIDIA. NVIDIA died eventually, all right? There's that. You come over here to Meta. Guys, there's sometimes that, like, it's just not going to pull back. In these cases, they just don't pull back. So we're going to come back over here to Microsoft. In that case, you didn't get a lot of money for a while. Maybe you bought in on this one, but maybe you didn't, because your alert didn't get hit, all right? But right here, your alert gets hit. You get to run it back, all right? And maybe you don't take profit, and maybe it comes all the way back down. And you're okay, all right? Because a big move is loading, all right? And all of a sudden, your $125,000 turns into, now let's say you rode that guy up, and now the RSI is oversold, so it's right about right here, 15% gain, right? $125,000. Let's just say it's around $140,000. What is it actually? I don't know. We're gonna look. All right, 125 times 1.14. All right, 104. I said 140, 142. All right. So guys, you just got to run it back again. All right. And maybe you saw this beautiful flag and you're like, yeah, I'm waiting and I'm going to buy the breakout. All right. And maybe you caught another 10%. And now all of a sudden you have $156,000. All right. And you're like, holy sweet baby Jesus. What do I do with all this money? All right. And it's like, oh, I'm just a working person and I just literally had to wait and just trade Microsoft here. So, guys, if you are that working person and you want to just sit back and relax and have that large lump sum of money, like you have this large account and you just want to chill and, do your work and stuff like that, just have your alerts set, do exactly what I just described here. Because in reality, over the past, 2 years, I understand maybe that's not a lot of money, but what if you were doing that with like $300,000 and that was like actually, you're just really swinging the crap out of this bad boy, right? And all of a sudden you just made $150,000. And what if, you're making $100,000 from your income, your earned income, and then guess what? All right, you just made a whole extra year and a half salary out of nowhere. It's not out of nowhere. It's off of freaking your boy Microsoft over here, and boom. All right. Let's say you're trying to aim for $2 million to retire. Well, now you just got an extra year and a half closer. I don't know what to tell you, right? But that's just something that I was describing, and I think it would benefit a lot of people to just have that mentality here. Because guys, you don't need to make the quick money, but if that money keeps stacking up, like what happens if you do that for 5 years? You could just do the Microsoft thing. Guys, I told you right here. All right. You don't have to be taking profits like I just said. This thing will naturally go up over time. Just like accumulate mass, accumulate savings. All right. In between these times, then boom, you just keep adding in lump sums. And over time, Microsoft alone could make you your millionaire. I don't know. All right. I still prefer the thing I was saying. I think you should just keep taking those 10 to 15% gains, and I think you'll have a good time. All right, guys. So with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your night, and peace.